but he's only in it 10 minutes.
It's the same snide prick he was in Billy Billy Madison, dude.
He plays that character well because he can play a prick really well.
Except he wasn't a prick in this. He was likable. That's why I liked him. He was likable. You didn't like 11? I kept waiting for her to like.
She was okay. I just thought
the whole family angle was kind of dumb. To be honest,
just start the episode.
Okay.
We're already talking about it.
Is it film? Are we filming? Thanks for joining us here at the film school. We're already in the middle of a conversation of our review of Godzilla King of the Monsters, the 2019 the follow-up to Gareth Edward's 2014 Godzilla movie, which I'm just going to say right now was a better Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
This movie definitely had, it did live up to the promise of just an all-out monster, like Kaiju battle, right? With, by the way, there's going to be spoilers here, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen the teaser posters. We know.
Spoil Godzilla, you already know what's going to happen, right?
There's Mothra and Rodan and King Ghidorah and.
There's just a little bit more monster action in there.
Yeah, which isn't bad. That's why you go see a Godzilla movie. I just wish that I could have seen the battles. Instead, it looked like Michael Bay, like they switched gears and had Michael Bay come in and shoot second unit or something. Cause
he edited it, obviously. I mean, it's really hard to tell which direction they're coming from and what's what. And yeah, really dark. It was just disappointing.
It really was.
I was expecting a lot more.
Yeah, I guess the first film set the bar a little high for me because they took the concept of Godzilla back to its roots. The 1954 Gojira. It's basically like an anti-nuclear movie, and they kind of feel like the 2014 Godzilla had a lot kind of on the zeitgeist of what, the natural disasters that are happening now and the erosion of the ecosystem and things like that. Global warming. Yeah.
Being in there for sure.
And it had a more ominous tone. It was a slower pace and a bigger build up. Where this film just kind of gets going right out of the gates.
Yeah, I thought it ran maybe a little 20 minutes. 20 minutes too long. Yeah. I probably should have. And I don't know, the whole family dynamic they had with Kyle Chandler and Vera Farmiga and the chick from Stranger Things. Sorry, I can't recall her name.
Millie something, yeah.
It just was cliched and just, I don't know, pointless in my opinion, but whatever.
I kind of feel like they covered that territory in the first film, right? Yeah. And so it was unnecessary.
A lot of exposition.
Yeah, a lot of exposition for something that they end up showing you anyways. So a lot of dialogue to explain what you're about to see, which is kind of, it's either filling out the story or it's just, we don't know how to put this together, so we don't think you're smart enough to figure out when they're going to battle and why.
And I thought Sally Hawkins was kind of wasted. I mean...
Yeah, and she was very, very...
she's a great actress, and I thought they could have given her a lot more than they did, and it just was kind of...
Yeah, especially after something like The Shape of Water,
right.
I was wondering if there was going to be a scene where she was going to get naked in a tub with Godzilla, but, that didn't happen, so
right.
It's a little disappointing, but I think she's fantastic, and yeah, her character was really incredibly wasted. I mean, this film picks up, 5 years after Godzilla King of the Monsters, and they do touch on Skull Island, Kong Skull Island, which was the second film in this MonsterVerse from 2017, which I think was better than this Godzilla movie. Oh, yeah, but sure. So basically this round is all about Monarch and kind of it's not really that memorable. I almost kind of forget what the main storyline was.
Well, that's the thing, and
was just a build up to have all. So the monsters are all waking up all over the place.
There's really not one likable character in there, in my opinion, other than Ken Watanabe's character.
I like Ken Wood. Hey, I like Bradley Whitford's character too.
I mean, he was good, but I mean, he was chewing his scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, but
that's what was. He was the comic relief.
He was, he's playing the smart ass like he does in a lot of movies he's in, but he plays it great.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
Ken Watanabe was the only actor to appear in the 2014 Godzilla movie to, appear in this one as a sort of carryover with Monarch, and I like Ken Watanabe a lot. I think the first film I ever saw him in was Last Samurai. And he's one of my favorite actors from Japan. I think he's actually bigger here than he is there. I mean, he's been in films like Batman Begins and
franchise, Interstellar. Or not Interstellar, sorry. It was
Inception.
Inception.
Yeah.
Inception.
And he's a really good actor, and his character was probably the only one that really had any dramatic heft in this film. I mean, the leads, they're all good actors, really. There's no one in it that was terrible, but it wasn't. I kind of feel like they should have taken a cue from Shin Godzilla. I don't know if anybody saw Shin Godzilla, the 2016 Toho reboot of Godzilla. The complete reboot. Normally when an era of Godzilla starts over again, they always pick up as a direct sequel to the original 1954 film, but Shin Godzilla didn't do that. So it's Shin Godzilla in the U.S., but I think in Japan it was Godzilla Resurgence. But that basically almost felt like a documentary in that it just was from the point of view of the Japanese government and how they're dealing with the situation, the government and the military. And I kind of feel like that's the direction that maybe they should have gone with in this film instead of trying to do the familial, mothers and daughters and fathers and daughters.
An alcoholic father. Ooh, that's new.
Yeah. That hooks you because you can relate, right?
Right. Like, come on.
At this point, with a giant walking disaster that is Godzilla, like this huge force of nature, and all the other kaiju that are waking up all around the world, I would think it would be more of a, the direction to go would be, let's look at it from the point of view of how we deal with a natural disaster like that, instead of like the betrayal. I mean, I love Charles Dance, but holy crap, did they just... We need a generic English villain, so there you go. And he does the best he can, but boy, howdy. That whole thing, because I don't want to get too spoiler, but there was like the subplot with a betrayal within Monarch, and it was really silly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like it meshed well.
Yeah, no, it really didn't. I think, like I said, I think they focused on the human aspect of the story, kind of leading up to the monsters, but then again, I'm not a writer, so.
But that doesn't mean you can't have an opinion as a viewer.
Right.
And my opinion is it was disappointing. However, King Ghidorah looked pretty badass, and I like the fact. And here's a spoiler: I liked the fact that King Ghidorah, they kept the origin that he is an alien, so that was really cool. Because over the years in the different Godzilla films, he's been reinvented as a creature that was from the future, so to go back to that like classic 70s era of Toho, I forget what the era is known as, like the Hensai or something like that. I don't really know the Japanese terminology for the different eras of Godzilla. I'm not the foremost Godzilla expert, but I do like a good Godzilla movie, and this was almost a good Godzilla movie. I'm probably going to pick it up still for my collection, but, because I do have quite a few Godzilla movies. Not as much as a buddy of mine who's a much bigger fan, and I think he went and saw that with us, my friend Frank, and he liked it a lot more, but that's because he's the opposite. He didn't really care for the 2014 Godzilla movie too much. He thought it was a little too slow, and it took forever to see Godzilla, and he liked just the all-out monster bash here, but I myself prefer the more ominous sometimes, I guess maybe it's because of watching Godzilla movies as a kid, there was, kind of a build-up, and then you see it's just this dude in a rubber suit, which is cool. I'd like to be the dude in the rubber suit smashing tiny towns and cities and stuff, but I mean, who wouldn't, right? But, yeah, so for the 2014 film I liked that it just kept Godzilla at a distance for a while, and then when they unleashed him, And
it worked. I liked it too. And this movie was shot by cinematography. His name was Lawrence Sher, and he works with Todd Phillips. Like he shot all the Hangovers and.
Did he shoot the Joker?
I'm not sure if he shot the Joker or not. But he's done more comedy films. I think this is his first horror sci-fi
action
movie. So.
Because, I mean, that Joker movie looks pretty cool, but we'll save that for another discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should talk about that sometime before the movie comes out and then talk about it after, because I don't know why. I'm just looking forward to it. I know it's Todd Phillips of all people, but it's got a nice Scorsese feel to it. But anyways, back to the King of the Monsters.
So, I'm going to give it 2 out of 4.
I'd give it, I'm going to give it 2.5 because it's entertaining. Even if it's got a really weak story and very hard to decipher action sequences. But overall, as a good Saturday matinee kind of waste of time kind of movie, that's, the kind where you're like, I don't feel like doing anything
This is a summer
today.
popcorn movie.
Yeah. I don't feel like getting out of bed today. I'm bipolar, man. I should go fight crime if only I could get out of bed today. I'll just watch Godzilla King of the Lobsters instead. I mean King of the Monsters. But, yeah. Also, I have to say, Frank did say the thing that he hated, and here's another spoiler for you. He hated when all the monsters bowed to Godzilla.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
But he's king of the monsters.
But that was kind of like the end of Jurassic... Jurassic World.
Cool, bro. Jurassic World. What a dumb movie. I mean,
the T-Rex. We're cool, bro. I'm out.
I don't know why, but I'm the only one in the theater that laughed out loud. Like, Jurassic World, one of the most monumentally stupid, dumb films I've ever seen, right? It just doesn't even work on any kind of logic whatsoever. It's just a big, dumb movie. And at the end, after the Velociraptor and the T-Rex, who are mortal enemies, right, teamed up to fight the mutated dinosaur creature, and then you think, oh, now they're going to battle. And they just look at each other. And I kid you not, I haven't rewatched the movie to make sure that I didn't just imagine this. But the T-Rex just looks at the Velociraptor like, and then walks away like to say like, it's cool, bro. We've bonded. We're friends now. Check you later, bro. And I just laughed my ass off. Like, really? $183 million for this? Whatever. I'll say this, Godzilla King of the Monsters, I will take over the Jurassic World movies. In fact, I'd take them over any sequel to Jurassic Park, hands down. This is much better than that. But it's not as good as Godzilla 2014 or Kong Skull Island, for my money.
I definitely agree.
But we'll see how Godzilla vs. King Kong turns out next year. Because that, hopefully, will be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Sam Jackson back. Oh, wait, no. He's dead. Yeah, that's right. Never mind.
He's done.
Maybe John C. Reilly, old John C. Reilly. Because I got to tell you, if you haven't seen Kong Skull Island and you don't like giant monster movies, then don't... Why are you watching this? But anyways, if you do and you haven't seen Kong Skull Island, John C. Reilly steals every scene that he's in. He's so good in that movie. And it's not even like a great role. It's just, He's funny. And that's what I like. Again, Bradley Whitford's character. So I think this is probably, the first major release of the summer? Well, no.
Avengers, I think, was
That was spring. Is that considered to be the beginning of the summer movie season?
I think so.
Okay, so we'll say Avengers was the kickoff. This is the follow-up. Not a very good follow-up. So let's hope the next one, Dark Phoenix, that's coming up, let's hope that that's much better. Let's see if we can raise that bar for the summer entertainment to tide us over till we get the eagerly awaited Spider-Man Far From Home, which will keep you abreast of that. So Just to reiterate, once again, I'm going to give Godzilla King of the Monsters 2.5 stars.
I'll give it 2 out of 4.
Out of 4.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, very disappointing. But thanks for joining us in this discussion. And please like and subscribe and come on back for more. Hope to see you again.
It's cool, bro.
He is king of the lobsters.